Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Godde Oguche. I am the Education Outreach Coordinator here in the EducationUSA office here in Abuja, and we'll be dealing with career planning starting now and how US colleges will support your professional goals. This afternoon, we'll be looking through how US colleges will support you through your plans and your choices about what you intend to study. So quickly on the outline this afternoon, we'll be looking at what is career planning. Then we'll be looking at why career planning is important and how US colleges support your professional goals. Then also we're going to be discussing how to identify your career paths. Then we'll talk about resources that are available to international students who would be attending different institutions in the US. Of course, we'll also talk about tips on how to build your professional profile. Then we'll look at a few Q&As, FAQs that regularly might pop up, and then we'll take your questions. All right, so career planning is not just for seniors, as you know. Many of you who have gone through the process of applying to schools have made a decision to pursue a particular career. And there are those who haven't decided on what career paths they want to take. And that's one beauty with the US educational system, where you have universities that will accommodate students, particularly the liberal arts institutions would offer admissions to students who are undecided on their majors. And that will mean that in the course of exploring the programs and the different academic programs that are within the institution, they will be able to identify the career paths they want to follow, or possibly be able to discover what their passion, where their passion lies, and then can pursue those degree programs before they graduate. The National Council for Education Statistics says 3 out of every 5 students would switch their major, in the course of the academic program while they're in college. So the chances are that even if you have made up your mind on what you want to study, you might just get into the program and discover that this is not exactly what I want. And you would be thinking about switching or possibly adding something else to what you already decided on doing. So across the over 600 major programs that are available, it's important for you to begin to plan now. And for many who are going to be going to school any moment from now, the reason why you need to plan out your career is partly what you most likely are going to be doing after you graduate. It's important that you know it now so that you can work towards it. So as you plan towards your career path, we want you to start early. There are students who have chosen majors in different fields: computer science, engineering, math, and all of the social science courses that you most likely have decided that you want to study. But again, the goal is, what do you want to do with that degree after you graduate? What will be your what will be the value of that degree program that you're going to be pursuing? What would you do with it after you graduate? Many of you who probably have gone in for your interviews at this moment, or will be going for your interviews, counselor will be asking you a question: what are your plans after graduation? That's also to give you a nudge to help you understand the purpose for which you're going to study in the US. So let's look at career planning. What is career planning? It's a strategic process where individuals identify their career goals and develop a plan to achieve them. So for many students who have decided that this is what I want to study, part of why you have decided that this is the choice of major is either the fact that you have passion for that major, or you sincerely think that you're good at it, and so you want to pursue that career. And that's the reason why you have chosen the path of going to the US to pursue that program. And the idea is for the US to prepare you to be able to achieve the goals in which you have set, to achieve the goals that you have put in place to become someone who would eventually become the engineer we're looking for, the doctors we're looking for, the computer scientists we're looking for, the software developers we're looking for. Somebody's raising her hand. Chizutelu. Okay, I think that should be an arrow. Okay, it also involves self-assessment and exploring options that you have in setting objectives in preparing a roadmap for you. As part and parcel of the Education USA plan, many of you went through the 5-step approach in applying to colleges. And this is part of what puts you in the roadmap in helping you pursue those goals that you have. Many of you have different aspirations, and many of you want to be able to look back in the future and said, I'm happy I took this decision. So this is when you begin that plan. It is not after you graduate. And that's the reason why we're saying any course you be taking, any major, every step you're taking in the process will be part and parcel of what will move you towards your goal. Why is career planning very important? One of the things you need to understand is because it helps you to give direction. It gives you direction on your purpose. So for many of you who decided that you wanted to study computer science or software engineering, part of the reasons why you chose the United States is because you have done your research and have discovered that the United States provides that environment that is globally competitive when it comes to technology, and you feel that most universities in this environment might not be able to give you that desired goal. And so your plan was to look out for institutions that will provide that kind of education that you're looking for. And so applying to the US is one thing you have done to help you actualize those goals. You want to be able to look back and become globally relevant when it comes to your choice of major. Number two is the fact that it helps you identify your strengths and set goals and help you develop uh, ways to achieve them. And I'm hoping that for everyone who has begun the journey on this career path, many of you will end up pursuing those goals as long as you have specific goals set apart to achieve them. Then it also provides you with clarity of direction. I believe for many students who have worked with advisors, part of our engagements would have been, why did you choose this major? Why are you choosing this major? Do you know why you're choosing this major? And you hear conversations around, oh, right from when I was small, I'm very good at tech. I've been playing with computers, and all of that. Or I'm someone who is able to, dismantle and scatter, and that's why I'm going in for mechanical engineering. So once an individual understands what he or she wants to do, you are able to pursue that, understanding that nothing else makes you excited, apart from things that you're passionate about. Then we look at the fact that it also increases your motivation and engagement. So anything that is worth doing that relates with what you want to study or your major parts you have chosen, it actually excites you. But anything outside those provisions, most likely than not, you might not be as interested in those parts or not. Now, for your career paths, these are things you're going to be doing for a lifetime. And so, because it is something you're passionate about, it is almost not going to be something you don't love doing. And so every time you are on that path, you're excited, you're motivated to keep doing what you do. If you look at sports people, those who are good in particular sports, they're always motivated to go back into doing those sports, even if they are old. I know that there are age retirements for people, but because they are passionate about those given activities or talents, you discover that they never stop doing it, even when they retire. They might not be doing it for money, but this is something, that motivation to keep doing those stuff is what will keep them pursuing goals and trying to see how they can mentor other people. Then we'll talk about fostering personal growth and professional growth. For many who are going to be going to several fields, whether you're a doctor or you're going to be a nurse or you're going to be a computer scientist or an engineer, all of you are going to be working towards achieving your professional career goals. And at the same time, you want to be able to fulfill certain personal goals. So when you begin your career plan, part of what you're going to understand is whether you're looking at right at the moment, or you're also considering when you become settled and you're married, all of this encapsulated together would help you put both your professional and your personal goals online such that they are not in conflict. Career planning helps you to enjoy your jobs. I know that I've had interactions with people who are working, but they are not happy with what they're doing. The fact is, they actually have an employment, but they are not enjoying their jobs. And that's partly because that's not what their passion is. So for everyone who is going to be going to any career path, part of what you do is the fact that you enjoy your job. Whether you're paid or not, you enjoy doing what you're doing because you love seeing smiles or you love seeing people satisfied or being treated uh, well. Then we'll talk about it also helps you in making decisions. I know that there there's conflict sometimes when it comes to career paths and career choices for younger adults and for parents. Sometimes parents will want to dictate what the child should study. I've heard parents say, "No, my son has to be a doctor," and the son is saying, "No, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to become an engineer." And so sometimes when a child knows what he or she wants, or when parents are able to observe what a child likes to do, the goal is to be able to help them, prepare them, so that they can make decisions that will help them uh, become successful with that particular uh, vocation or that particular career. So when these conflicts arise and parents insist that this will be what you're going to study, and the child is not able to understand why the parents are insisting, and the parents are also not understanding why the child is interested in another field outside. Sometimes wrong decisions are made. But once you already know what you want and your parents and the children all understand it, it helps the decisions to be easier. And so you can go forward to it. Sometimes you hear parents say, "Oh, that's what he wants to do. We'll support him in that process." So it's very important that children and parents also identify what their passion or what the career path for their children are, so that decision making will be easy. I've had a situation where I've had one student told me one time, "Oh, he didn't want to do sciences, but because his dad wanted him to become a doctor, he had to take science courses, and he doesn't like it. He thinks that he wants to change." So in a situation like this, you have uh, poor decisions being made. And I do hope that as you move forward, you'll be able to get all of the choices that you desire. Then supporting your developmental skills and then promoting life work balance. As you move ahead in life, part of the career path you're taking, you're going to be confronted with life challenges. And this will come with your jobs, the demand from family, society, and all of those work-life balance issues will begin to crop up. Priorities sometimes uh, are taken away from one side to balance the other. But as you make your decisions to either want to become a doctor, a nurse, one of the things you must know, whether an engineer or you're an architect, you must be able to prioritize your work-life balance. And this is partly why you must begin to plan now. If you say you want to become a doctor, 10 years from now, where do you see yourself when you now become a married man? Now you're single, you're not married, you can make independent decisions. But as you proceed and you move ahead in life, you're going to be going up the ladder in your professional career, and you're also going to be having additional needs. So this is why career planning is very important. Now, how do you identify your career paths? First and foremost, you need to make a list of your hobbies and what you're passionate about. And that's why counseling is very important as you begin to choose the career paths. You don't choose the career path because your daddy is doing it, or you hear things like, "Oh, in our family, everybody is a doctor, so that's why I want to become a doctor." But if that's not what your hobbies are, or those are not the things you're very much interested in, it's not things you're passionate about, then why do you want to do it? I remember growing up and staying with a doctor, and I told myself, I said, as much as I desired being a doctor, I really didn't think I wanted to be a doctor, having to stay with a doctor and see how their lives work around. It's after school, they still come back home and they are reading when they're supposed to be resting because they need to perform a an operation in the hospital and they need to, consult a lot of documents to see the different cases that have happened with such. So I'm like, oh, so that means if I'm a doctor, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I don't see myself being a doctor. So look at those things that you like. What are the things that you love doing that you do not have to strain? It just comes natural. Once you identify that, then you can begin to see what are the things or what are the fields that are good in this area. For example, you're good at dancing, but you're better off, organizing, managing people, managing and organizing things. You might be thinking about professions that might not be something that has to do with dancing, even if you know how to dance, but you see yourself as somebody who is an organizer. So you might either end up as an event planner or something related to everything that makes you happy. Now you need to discover what you're good at, whether it's sport or whether it's a talent, it's a skill that you have, and you see that you're good at it. It might be something you want to learn and work towards. We've seen people who are good at music and they pursue it as a career, and then that's where they build their career paths along. There are those who are talented, are gifted with hands, and whatever their hand finds to do, they can do it well. So if you discover what you're good at, then you can start working towards those traits. You also have to identify your personality. Who are you? Um, I know there are introverts and there are extroverts. So who are you? And when it comes to how you relate with people, that also will tell what kind of career choices you'll be making. If you're not somebody who is sociable, then you might not be a very good communicator. You might be somebody who is reserved. So it's possible that you going into mass media might not become a good profession. I'm just giving that as an example, but it also aligns with every other thing that you most likely are thinking. It's about you discovering yourself and knowing the kind of person you are and things you can do. I also feel that once you have discovered that, you can determine what you want out of a career by asking yourself, what do I want from this job? Yeah, I want to be a doctor. What do I want to do with my doctor degree? Do I want to make money? Or do I want to go out all out to treat people who do not have money? And so that would define your area of specialization, and it gives you definition to what you want. Then talk with people who are in the industry, particularly those who are already in the profession, so that you can have an idea. I want to become an architect. I love drawing. Have you spoken with an architect before? Do you know what it takes when you see a beautiful design? What price goes into it? And so you find out that all of these details will help you make an informed decision when you have engagements with people who are already in the field. And that will give you a sense of uh, an idea to know whether this is what you're called out for or this is something you most likely might change your mind on. Then you need to research the job market and look at the opportunities that are available. So if, for example, you're someone who is thinking about going to petroleum engineering or petrochemical engineering, a quick question will be, what will be the place of PMS? Now we're looking at renewable energy and all of that. What will the market be like 10 years from now? Will we still have more demand for fuel or we'll have less demand for fuel now that we're trying to be eco-friendly? So these are things you need to put into uh, your research quest and see how relevant would this career be. There are careers that are going into extinction right now because of the new technologies we have. Different apps are coming up and they're replacing a lot of jobs for people. So anything you're thinking about doing right now, you must be able to ask yourself, will this career path, will it be relevant 10 years from now? 20 years from now, will I still be in the market? Or a new innovation will come and possibly I'll be in extinction. And that's the reason why you're making this decision, you really need to look at the future and see what will be the relevance of this particular career that I'm going to be pursuing. And that's why for some people, they will tell you, as long as professional careers are involved, they will ever be relevant. So whatever your decision is, whether you're going to be a professional or you're going to the field of social sciences, liberal arts, what would be the future of that career path you're taking. Then lastly, you're going to be looking at what are your core values. What do you stand for? What do you believe? What are the things that you stand for? Some of those things can also influence the majors you're taking. For example, if you're someone who usually want to advocate for people who are being treated unjustly, you most likely might become somebody who is going to be either in the legal profession and thinking about human rights, justice, and all of them. Just giving that as an instance. Or you're somebody who is very, you know, if it's yes, it has to be yes. So whatever principle or those core values that you have, they also might become some of the things that will guide you as you identify the career paths that you would want to follow at the end. So how do US education support your professional goals? Part of the process that you have begun is identifying institutions that will help you actualize your goals. For many of you, you'll be going to the computer science field. For some of you, you'll be going to software engineering. For some of you, it's maths. For some of you, you're taking pre-med path. And some of you, nursing. All of this is part of the process that you are embarking on to ensure that US institutions prepare you to become that individual that you want to be. And part of what you see is the fact that the US has a rigorous academic structure that helps you to integrate hands-on learning, practical approach, and then also helps you to interface with the real world before you actually come out. So for many of you who are going to be going into the academic system in the US, many of you are going to enjoy the CPT and the OPT options that are available for you. And that in itself would help you, combine both what you're learning in the classroom and what the real world is, and be able to, interface with what the world is out there and bring those ideas back into the classroom, and then enriching your total experience as you make your paths towards the goals that you want to pursue. Then when we talk about supporting your academic goals, part of one of the systems that have been created by the institutions is that you're also going to be engaging with academic advisors. And one of the goals is to be able to interact with you to know what your goals are and to know what you intend to do with the degree, and their professionalism will kick in to help you know the kind of courses you're going to be taking, what courses are going to be relevant to your desired goal. That is part of what academic advisors will be doing with you to ensure that they prepare you and also provide vital information that will help you through the process of helping you reaching your goals. Then, of course, I know that you have majors right now. By the time you get into the institution, some of you might be taking majors and minor courses based on the interactions you're going to be having. And that in itself helps you in mapping your career opportunities. Then when we talk about internships, for many of you, as you go ahead into the industry, into the field of where you're going to be studying, part of what the institutions does and helps you with is internship opportunities. So when you come in as new students, you're going to be having orientation, and they will tell you where your career advisors come in, where the student center also comes in providing such information. And these internship opportunities are actually going to be geared towards the career goals or the career choice of careers where you already are pitching towards. So as intern, as a computer science student, or as a software engineer, you most likely are going to be doing internships within the industry where your career paths are. You will not become, you're not going to be doing software engineering and then you're working with Dangote Cement, something away from production, but you're doing something in the field. So you're working in Microsoft as an intern and also a computer science student or a software engineer. So that's kind of how those internship opportunities help you. Again, for many who go into the program and then find a hitch along the way, the US educational system helps you in switching your majors. So should you go into a program and you see that you're not doing very well academically, or you discover that, oh, this wasn't what I thought of before I chose this program. I actually thought it was something that was going to be easy for me, But as it stands, I don't think I'm called out for mechanical engineering. I'll rather do electrical because I think I have stronger grades than I'm doing better in the electrical component of my grade. So there's a support system that helps you in making that switch easily. Then we have core programs where institutions also provide you with um, work opportunities at the same time while you're schooling. And this, it's a relationship that gives you opportunity to work and gain experience. And at the same time, you're getting your credit. So sometimes some institutions have summer programs that are in line with your field where you can work and gain practical experience and then come back to classroom. And some also have it integrated into the academic structure of what you have. For many of you are aware, we always tell you that within the university system, you have a minimum of at least 20 hours per week. So if you're attending an institution that has a co-op program, institutions like MIT, you have a few of them, Georgia Tech, a few of them have co-op programs where students are going to be placed in specific fields where they're actually taking majors from. So this also helps you in building experience, helps you in also gaining and also promoting network amongst those who are already working full time. It helps you to, be able to promote the skills that you are. It helps you to be able to adapt what you're learning from the classroom and also gaining practical skills on the field. In this synergy, you most likely are going to grow network of people who would eventually might become those who will recommend you if you're going to be applying, for an employment in those companies. Then, of course, many things that you see in most recent researches that are available on US campuses have everything to do with aligning with what the industry needs are. So curriculums are designed to know what the needs of the industry are. So what your professors are teaching you in the classroom are actually part of researches that have gone on, and those are the industry needs. So by the time you are graduating, you have the requisite skills that the industries are looking for. So in that way, it's a win-win. In a situation where you find, like we have it in Nigeria, sometimes you hear people say, oh, we have a lot of graduates, but they are not employable. The reason is because they do not have the requisite skills that that industry is in need of. But what US institution does is to be able to prepare you and also provide you with those skills that would help you become successful in the industry. So let's look at some of the career resources available to international students as you go. The first one is the International Student Scholar Service, and that's your first point of call where you get to know everything about immigrations, visas, your orientation, and things that have to do with you coming in as an international student. Every information that you need to know emanates from here. You also have the Career Service Center. This is where you get counsel and also work with advisors to be able to put you through and also guide you through um, processes of, applying for internships, writing your resumes and helping you to understand everything as it relates to the career paths. The support services are there to help you as an international student as you go into the institution. Then we have the alumni network and mentors, and this is a very good avenue where students who have graduated from that institution are available to you as mentors, or the network of students who have graduated from different faculties who are in the field of the same areas can be of support to you. And these are people who actually provide internship opportunities for students who are current students in that institution. And so from this relationship, many of you would get to benefit from, the network of alums that are available. Then we also have mentors programs. There are people who are assigned to mentor students, particularly when it comes to either public speaking and all of those other fields that are available. When we talk about networking, part of the opportunities you get as you engage either in internship or working within the sphere while you're schooling is the fact that you're going to be meeting people and you're going to be building relationships. And this network is what sometimes helps you in securing permanent employment opportunities when you start. Then, of course, we also have the National Association of Colleges and Employees. This particular organization provides up-to-date information about employment opportunities, what employers are looking for, and again, that interface provides you with as much information as where the job needs are. And so while you're doing your research and you're looking at all of the opportunities available, these are resources you can tap from. We also have career fairs that have been organized by most institutions. This is where you have um, corporate organizations, international bodies, those who are into tech, those who are into manufacturing, all of these people who are hiring uh, come in around the time where you guys are almost graduating to look out for students who fit into what they're looking for in their industries. So most schools, when you see most schools do their webinars or seminars, they will tell you where their graduates end up. And this is because they've enjoyed mutual relationships, between the university and those who are actually providing employment for this institution. So when this phase goes on, this is where recruiters come into the institution and then we want to recruit. Then you have job search tools that are available for those who will be looking for job opportunities, internship opportunities. Then we have finally the study abroad provision that is available. For students who are looking at international relations, global studies, part of what enriches your experience has to do with study abroad and your ability to be able to know the world better, interact with other people. This gives you an idea, on how you can pursue your your dreams or your goals of becoming an international relations expert, or your ability to be able to engage with people from different cultures. So this is one opportunity that is available on several campuses. And if you're somebody who also is interested in language, you want to learn Spanish or French, you could actually take these options of doing study abroad programs in different countries. Now, what are the tips that you need to know in building your professional profile? So we say start early in developing your skills. What are these skills? Communication skill is very important in every sector, whether you are in manufacturing, you're in the health sector, or you're even in the political sector, wherever you find yourself. Communication skill is one skill that most job seekers are looking for, problem solving skills, and also time management skills. So how fast you're able to, finish a job or a task given to you. These are things or skills that organizations are looking for. Then we also say you should assess yourself to know your basic skills. What are the skills that you have? I'm going into an industry that is tech. How much of technology, apart from the computer, what other tech skills do I have? Do I have ability to use Google very well? Can I use all the new softwares that are in line with the careers that I'm actually looking out for? I want to become um, like the tech support team lead, for an organization. I should be able to provide solutions when it comes to everything related to tech within my industry. So that's the kind of skills that you need to assess yourself to have. And if you don't have, you can actually develop these skills as you progress in your career path. Remember, it's a lifelong journey. You need to develop professional profiles either on LinkedIn or looking at internship job listing that are available. Um, Building your professional profile on LinkedIn basically has to do with short information, basic information that has to do with your professional field, the skills that you have, so that at a glance, anybody looking at your skills and looking at the information they're looking for, at a quick glance, they will be able to identify if you're the one who is fit for the kind of job they're looking for. Then, of course, you need to provide um, your profile should have relevant skills, just as I mentioned. And of course, you need to state your achievements or your experience on the job. And this is one beauty with the internship opportunities that you have in school. This is one beauty you have with your OPT opportunities, because as you go into the real world, most organizations are looking for people who have experience. While you're in school, your education is also helping you to build those skills so that when you graduate, you already have the requisite experience that the industry is looking for. So let's take a look at some of the frequently asked questions, and that'll be, what are the best resources for career development for students? And I said these resources could include online learning platforms. So while you still prepare, there are platforms online that you can learn a lot from. There are lots and lots that Google has. There are different programs that are available that you can learn, particularly as it has to do with your skill in performing your duties or your goal. Of course, you also need career counseling. And as you go to this institution, please do not hesitate to ask questions. Ensure that you get proper guidance as to your career choices, and be able to explain in simple terms what you want to really become or what you want to do with the program that you're going in for. Take advantage of internships and build networks, particularly when you meet at events. This will help you connect. And as you go, they say the world is a small place. You never can tell where you would find yourself sometime in the future. How can students start building a career plan early? Begin by setting career goals. So 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? Start the plan now and ensure that you have also assessed the skills that will help you, in achieving these career goals. And also ensure that, as I mentioned, ensure you take advantage of the student career services that are available so you can also be on the right track. What skills are essential for students to succeed in today's job market? So these necessary skills, as I mentioned, is communication, time management, your ability to adapt to new environments and be able to function in meeting those responsibilities within those environments. Then internship also will benefit your career paths, particularly as it helps you build experience and also gives you an insight of what the industry is. So you want to become a software developer, and here you are, you haven't developed one. You most likely are going to work with people who are experts in that field and gain experience from those people and see how they develop programs. Then you can innovatively be able to design your own software based on the experience that they have. As they say it in the local palace, when you're coming into a business, you don't come in with your own new idea. What you do is borrow ideas from others so that you will learn from that process and be able to become successful. Then, of course, take advantage of the network opportunities that are available to you, and you will be successful in pursuing every goal that you have. So these are my takeaways before we go into Q&As. Career planning is a journey, so you need to start early. So it means for everyone who is going to become what they desire to be, it starts from now. Start dreaming, start planning, start working, and start putting things together to ensure that you follow through in meeting those goals. Colleges support you every step of the way, so take advantage of the services that you have available to you. There are many support services that are available in the university. Take advantage of those services, and that will help you become successful. Start today by exploring the resources that are available, set clear goals, and take actionable steps towards that successful path. Before you know it, in a few years from now, you most likely will become that desired person you want to be, as long as you stay focused. Your future is built on what you start doing today. So many of you have decided on what you want to become and have begun the process. So we're at a stage where you're now going to begin to take additional steps towards those goals, becoming the nurses, the doctors, the engineers, the pilots, the architects, and all of that. So I do hope that as you also go through this journey, ensure that you are flexible enough such that if what you wanted was not what you are seeing, then of course, based on what we talked about, what are the other things you're passionate about? What are the hobbies that you enjoy doing? Because at the end of the day, you're going to live with every decision you make 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. All right, so I'll